In this video, tignan po natin yung mga trending stocks tulad ng Monde, SCC, and DMC. Are you guys ready? Let's go! Alright, so let's start off with Puregold, no? I wanted to start off sa weekly chart para lang makita natin yung bigger picture and we can get a better grasp kung ano nga ba talaga yung nangyayari over the long run. Now, kung pupunahin natin, essentially what has been going on is we have been trading in this very wide range. Okay? Now, syempre, as always, sa mga ganyang malalaking range, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga segments sa loob. And we'll discuss that shortly, no? But I just wanted to see, ano nga ba talaga? Ano yung binabantayan natin? What can we play for? What can we expect for? And in this particular instance, with the exception na nag-overshoot tayo dito, saka dito, in the big picture, hindi ba parang nag-trade lang tayo sa area na yan? Diba? Now, I want you to keep that in mind lang as we go down to the daily time frame, okay? Para mas merong context yung pinag-uusapan natin. Okay? So when we move to the daily time frame, mas lumalabas yung importance ng pag-segment natin dito sa Puregold. Now, first and foremost, ano ang dapat nating punahin? Number one, nabasag na natin yung support natin dito at 31 pesos, more or less. Alright? Now, nangyari na yan before. Diba? It broke beneath dito sa candle na yan. Let me zoom in a bit. Tapos, we tried to move back higher, pero we closed the week nang nasa baba na naman tayo nung level of support na to. Now, what does that tell us? Number one, the likelihood na ma-revisit natin tong low na naiwan dito, and that's around 30.5, ay, kumbaga, it's ever present, no? There's a good chance na mabalikan natin yon and perhaps go even lower, hitting our next level of support at 29.8. Kapag nabasag yung 29.8, I would argue na the next level of real support will be yung pandemic low na of 26 pesos. Now, what price does from where it is now to 26 pesos, kung umabot man tayo doon, is still a mystery, no? Hindi natin alam kung anong gagawin ng price, eh. Maaaring isa, dalawa, tatlong kandila lang, lumagapak kagad yan doon. Maaaring it takes its time. Maaaring it never gets there. But that's something to keep in mind lang. Okay? Now, kung mas bullish naman yung gusto nating makita, if we want to trade this na, kumbaga, within our segments, what I would first look for is for price to reclaim tong 33 pesos. And then, kapag nangyari yon and we start holding above it, then that opens up the possibility na mag-trade tayo sa loob ng range na to between 33 pesos to 34.75 with possible overshoots hanggang dito sa 35.8. Kasi at the after all, 'di ba, kung titingnan natin, yan yung high end ng range niya. Etong 34.75, yan lang yung pinaka-inflection point natin. Meaning it acted as resistance, support, and so on, no? Resistance. So, yan yung talagang untog. Pero, pwedeng mag-overshoot kasi it happened before, twice. Each time it happened, lumagapak ulit. So, hindi naman siguro naagulat na kung bumalik tayo dyan, ay maaaring mag-overshoot na naman tayo ulit. Okay? But, again, your expectations will depend on what type your trader personality is. So, keep that in mind lang. Kung mas conservative kayo, mas aggressive, and so on. Okay? Now, kung kunwari from here, we can come back and break above tong 37.85 na area na to. For me, that opens up this wider range above, which to be fair, hindi ko muna sinegment. May resistance yan dito, and so on, no? But it opens up that entire area above and magiging mas madali siyang i-trade, for lack of a better term, kasi mas mag-open up. Kung iisipin nyo, parang yes, maraming chop dito, pero kung where we are right now, nag-chop na tayo dito, nag-chop na tayo dyan, chop dito. So, mas mahirap talaga siyang laruin kasi for price to reach for the next level, mas marami siyang pwedeng pag-untugan. Breaking above 37.85 and maybe even subsequently 40 opens up that higher end and hopefully makes life easier for all of us. Next, tignan po natin tong DMC, no? Now, tong DMC, when it last pushed higher, we never really formed essentially a higher high. Kumbaga, if we were looking at an uptrend, a high, low, higher low, diba? So in this up move, we never really formed a higher high na masasabi nating kapatuloy nitong uptrend na nagaganap, no? Now, I'm not saying that that means na babaksak na tayo, no? Okay? But that's just something to keep in mind, to watch out for, para pwede tayong mag-ingat kapag dating sa mga certain points at hindi natin i-over-exceed yung reach natin. The other thing that we may notice dito sa DMC is essentially, again, with overshoots here and here, we are ranging. We are moving sideways. Yes, pataas tayo. Yes, tumaas tayo. But essentially, in the wider scheme of things, pa-sideways pa rin yung galaw natin. Nauuntog pa rin tayo dito sa mga levels natin. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't touched these in a while. You can review yung mga videos natin and you will see na these levels have held true for the longest time. Okay? So, from here, ano yung pwede nating tignan dito sa DMC? Right now, we are right in this red zone. And tong red zone na to, nag-form yan kasi ito yung previous support, ito yung previous resistance. So, the expectation is, when we fell beneath it, maaaring mauntog tayo dito on our way back up. Assuming we do go back up. Now, kung mabasag natin ng altogether tong red zone na to, yung expectation would be possible gap fill. And then from there, we'll see kung kaya ba niyang basagin tong 9.27. Kung mabasag tong 9.27 to 9.3 na area, then the next natural price for, or the next natural level for the price to be magnetized to will be tong high at 9.85. Kung nabasag yan, obviously, bagong 52-week high tayo and a lot of people will be very happy, no? Ang ayaw nating makita naman from here is mag-hold tong red zone na to and then we start pushing lower. Kung nabasag natin tong 7.98, the next likely area that price goes to will be 7.65, followed by 7.25. However, we do need to recognize na kung mabasag tong 7.65 altogether, tapos, di ba dito lumalaban siya? Di ba? Kung mabasag yan and we start to just hold beneath it, then that might signal na tapos na tayo sa range na yan, and that could be an early sign na we're kumbaga ready to go down na yung DMC. Now, I'm not saying that one thing or another is more likely to happen, no? Ang ginagawa lang naman natin dito is anticipating potential scenarios para kung sakaling mangyari yung maganda, ready tayo. Kung sakaling mangyari yung pangit, ready din tayo. Next, tignan natin tong Monde, no? Now again, in the bigger picture, naka-downtrend tayo. We've been forming highs, lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and so on, no? Patuloy lang yung pagbaba natin dito sa Monde. And while dito, we actually broke above etong previous swing high na to, hindi siya nagtagal. Diba? We broke, we hit resistance, akala ng mga tao, breakout, we came in, pero the very next day, binentahan dito. Then we just continued moving lower from there. Nagkaroon tayo ng bounce here, nag-form ng swing low, nag-form ng high, pero di rin nagtagal, we broke beneath, at nag-hold na tayo beneath nitong 13.78. So from where we are right now, the likelihood is price comes back to revisit tong previous support levels natin dito. Diba? That's around 12.6, 12.7, more or less na area. Kung umabot tayo dyan and then we break beneath it, then what technically happens is nakabuo na naman tayo ng bagong 52-week low, and this might see that price drives even lower for this particular issue. Okay? So from where we are right now, isa pang pwedeng mangyari is mag-range lang tayo between yung 12.6 hanggang dito sa 13.78 like what we experienced here. So yun yung ideal scenario now that we've broken down dito sa support, no? Na sana mag-range muna ng konti, then from there we can push back higher again. Diba? Pero syempre, wala naman pong kasiguraduhan yun kasi ilang beses na rin tayong bumalik sa lows na to. And in this particular instance, continuation pa siya nung downtrend. So, baka makita na natin na mabasag yung 52-week low natin. Now, para maging bullish to ulit, it's not gonna be easy. Kasi ang pangit na nung structure niya eh. For me, the earliest sign, number one, is we need to reclaim tong 15.5 na area. If we can reclaim tong 15.5 na area, tas mag-start tayo mag-conso around here, then that might be something to watch out for, no, dito sa Monde. Pero, again, even if that happens, I don't think it happens anytime soon. Meaning at least you have a couple weeks, maybe more, maybe a couple of months bago mangyari yun. Kung bigla kasi siyang, kunyari from here, bumaba, ganyan, biglang pumitik, ibig sabihin, may ibang nangyayari, whether it's a fundamental driver or baka linalaro lang, parang dead cat bounce ulit, tulad na nangyari dito. We don't know. But again, kung biglaan siyang tumaas, then I would be more, for lack of a better term, suspicious, no? But kung kunwari, maganda yung structure natin, we start pushing to the upside, then we start consolidating around that etong area that we discussed, then hopefully that's a sign that we are ready to push up dito sa Monde, breaking above 16.5, followed by 17.4, and so on. Next, tignan natin tong UBP, no? So, tong UBP, after natin mag-form ng double top dito, okay, parang yan na yung naging high natin, napako na siya. And then from there, what happened was we started driving lower. So ito yung high, lower high. High, low, lower high, lower low. At ito ngayon yung next na lower high natin. So kung magpapatuloy itong downtrend na to, ang expectation is from here, we start driving lower and breaking beneath tong 68 pesos. And once that breaks, perhaps revisiting tong mga lows na naiwan natin dito or finding some type of reaction dito sa mga areas of previous consolidation. Okay? Para maging bullish siya ulit, from here what we want to see at bare minimum is for us to come back and take out tong 84 to 85 pesos na area. And then kapag nangyari yon, we can expect na pwede nating i-trade siguro tong range na to from 85 to 93, more or less, kasi mag-o-open up ulit yung area na yan eh. And if we can break above 93, I think what happens from there is we make a play to at the very least revisit tong double top na to. Diba? Kung makakabalik tayo above nitong 93. But anything below 93, hindi ko iisipin na babalikan natin yung double top. Parang masyado pang malayo para i-consider. Okay? Kung kunwari naman, sabihin natin, nag-break up nga siya, bumalik siya nito above 84 to 85, mag-range siya dito, tas hindi rin nag-hold, nag-break beneath ulit, then odds are, ang pinapakita lang nun is magpapatuloy yung bearish move ulit. Nagkaroon lang tayo ng unexpected move to the upside that likely, kung nangyari man yun, will be very short-lived. Tapos papatuloy lang yung down move. Okay? Again, all of this is just pure speculation on my part kasi minsan, while in my mind the scenarios make sense, how they end up forming, diba? How the structure ends up forming isn't exactly how I thought it would eh. Pagka ganon, kailangan natin i-adjust yung expectations kasi nag-iba eh. We are presented with new data. A lot of people confuse technical analysis as parang crystal ball na kailangan makita mo yung future, kailangan ma-predict mo saan pupunta yung price. That's not how I see it. Technical analysis is just a tool that helps me manage how I trade. Diba? So yung mga scenarios that I form using technical analysis are simply there to help me manage my expectations and to help me manage how I execute and do yung mga small things that need to be done while I'm in a particular trade. Okay? It also helps me find where I want to enter, where are decent areas of business, but it doesn't tell me na, from here, kailangan lumipad na tayo ng 500 pesos. Okay? My personal belief is hindi ganon. Now, I'm not saying na mali yung mga tao na ganon mag-isip. Okay? Kaya ko lang to sinasabi is not to, kumbaga, badmouth other people, but to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from when we discuss these types of scenarios. Kasi alam ko, maraming gusto na maging super bullish na naman yung Union Bank, na lumipad, lalo na baka yung mga nakabili dito sa banda taas. But, tas magagalit kasi sabihin, bakit mo sinabing ganyan lang, ganyan lang, ganyan lang? It's because of the way that I look at charts and the way I analyze and the way that I trade. And then finally, tignan po natin tong SCC. Now, tong SCC, patuloy pa rin yung pagtaas niya, no? In the sense na after natin makahanap ng high dito, where we expected na mauuntog nga tayo because this was a previous supply zone. Diba? Nag-pull back tayo, very shallow pullback, and now it looks like we want to push higher once again. Okay? Now, kung kunwari may hawak kayo nito, then of course, just make sure to trail your stops accordingly para kung sakaling mangyari ang ayaw natin mangyari, ay hindi po natin maibabalik sa merkado ang karamihan ng kinita natin. However, kung hahabol pa lang tayo, you need to take into consideration that the possibility exists na instead of price breaking out of itong white zone na to, maaaring bumalik tayo sa high na to, tas mag-range muna tayo sa area na yan. Now, kung kunwari papasok ka where we are right now, even if you just put your stop beneath this swing low here, yung possible na paguntugan mo, yung possible target is around 37.25. Or lagay na lang natin sa 37 para madali, no? So you're risking about 1.3 pesos, pero yung pwede mong matalo na sa mga 3.2 pesos. Medyo may kalakihan, di ba? So kapag ganon, I don't consider it worthwhile endeavor in terms of risk-reward. Now, syempre, kung very bullish talaga kayo, gusto nyo pumasok, that's up to you, no? Kung pasok siya sa system nyo, kung pasok siya sa parameters nyo, then by all means, go ahead. Alright? But para sa akin lang kasi very important yung risk-reward. I always consider all of that, no? Para sa akin, the cleaner trade would be kung mabasag natin altogether tong white zone na to. Okay, kung nabasag yan, lalo na pati itong mga highs na to, then that opens up this area here that might make it a quicker trade, diba? That sees less downside or less consolidation than a trade would have assuming maipit nga tayo sa range na to. Now, of course, that's a lot of assumptions, no? Hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari eh. So we're just trying to anticipate potential scenarios that we could face moving forward. Ang ayaw nating makita dito, okay, just let me take all of these out para mas madali, is mag-form to ng low, di ba? High-low. Tapos mabasag to the downside, parang nag-form na tayo ngayon ng high-low, lower-high, tapos nag-lower-low. And not just that, essentially, nag-form ka na ng head and shoulders pattern dito, which could indicate na at the very least, babalik tayo sa previous range na to, or na baka yun na yung top for this particular stock and we start seeing downside moves from there. After all, this has remained strong despite our very, very bearish market and hindi naman siguro nakakagulat for anyone kung madamay din siya sa overall market sentiment. So, konting ingat-ingat lang po. Huwag natin masyadong madaliin. Okay lang na hindi makapasok, basta hindi lang pumaipit, di ba? Okay lang maiwan, wag lang maipit. So, konting ingat-ingat lang. But, from the looks of it, di ba? Kung pinag-uusapan lang ano yung bias, ano yung direction, I do think it's still gonna go higher. It's just that, kung ngayon pa lang papasok, mahirap pumasok because of yung risk-reward. Alright, so keep that in mind, assuming gusto nyong humabol, and keep in mind din yung mga pwedeng mangyaring negatives, assuming humabol nga kayo, para makakalabas kayo na maaga if in case things take a turn for the worse. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti, and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!